Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5 best cameras for photography. Starting at number 5. Canon EOS R7. If you like shooting fast-moving subjects like wildlife and can't quite stretch to a full-frame Canon camera like the EOS R6, then the EOS R7 is great choice. It has a smaller APS-C sensor, so its high ISO performance isn't as strong as its full-frame siblings, but the benefit is that you can get longer reach from smaller lenses. The EOS R7 also packs in fast burst speeds, with our tests backing up its claims of 15 frames per second continuous shooting or 30 frames per second, if you switch to the electronic shutter. You can't sustain those speeds for quite as long as a camera like the EOS R6, but a few seconds is enough to capture most wildlife subjects. Other big bonus of Canon's EOS R system are its subject tracking autofocus skills, and the EOS R7 inherits these, too. Our tests found this to be a dream for wildlife, action and sports subjects. We were also fans of its chunky grip, which makes it comfortable to hold with long lenses, and the inclusion of dual UHS-2 card slots, which means it's a camera that could also tempt pros looking for a second body. The only downside right now is the lack of native lenses for the EOS R7's APS-C sensor, with only 2 available at the time of writing. Still, you can always mount today's full-frame RF lenses or adapt older EF lenses while you wait for Canon to make more. Coming at number 4. OM System OM1. Not everyone need a full-frame camera and like the Fujifilm X-T4, the OM System OM1 harnesses the benefits of its smaller sensor to create a compelling alternative for those whose priorities are size, versatility, and a fun handheld experience. Thanks to its new stacked micro Four Thirds sensor, which is the first of its kind, and a speedy TruePix X processor, the OM1 performed admirably in most our tests. Quite simply, it's one of the most enjoyable cameras you can buy. We found that the OM1 performed well up to ISO 1600 and had slightly less aggressive noise reduction than its Olympus-made predecessors. Its computational modes are also the best you'll find outside a smartphone, with the likes of high residential shot, live North Dakota and in-camera focus stacking going some way to compensating for its smaller sensor. On the downside, its autofocus tracking isn't quite up to the level of Canon or Sony, and the controls can be a little fiddly. That 20MP resolution also isn't huge for a camera of this price. But if you can overlook those drawbacks, then the OM1 will make a fine companion. At number 3. Canon EOS R6. While the Canon EOS R5 is overkill for most people, the EOS R6 is a more affordable full-frame alternative that is simply one of the best cameras for photography around. If you already own one of Canon's early mirrorless full-framers like the EOS R, or any of its DSLRs, this is a more than worthy upgrade. Based on our review, the EOS R6 brings best-in-class autofocus, a superb in-body image stabilization system, and burst shooting powers that mark it out as a very fine camera for wildlife or sports photography. Despite its ability to shoot 4K/6DP video, the EOS R6 lacks options like the ability to DCI 4K, and we found it to have overheating limitations compared to video-focused rivals like the Sony A7 IV, making it better suited to stills photographers. But for photography, it's an excellent option that delivers hugely impressive autofocus, handling, and features that make it one of the best options around for anyone who needs a full-frame camera. Number 2 of my list. Fujifilm X-H2. It isn't a full-frame camera, but the Fujifilm X-H2 takes APS-C ones to new heights. It combines an excellent new 40MP sensor with the handling of the X-H2S to create a brilliant all-round package for most kinds of photography, from landscapes to wedding snaps. Despite that resolution, the X-H2 offers 15 frames per second burst shooting with its mechanical shutter, with an impressively deep buffer if you use CF Express cards. This makes it impressively versatile and more than good enough for capturing action, if not quite as rapid as the X-H2S. We reckon the X-H2's 40MP APS-C sensor is now class-leading for stills photography. In our tests, it managed to offer that boosted resolution without incurring much of a downside in terms of dynamic range or noise. We also found the X-H2's autofocus to be much improved from previous Fujifilm cameras like the X-T4, with its subject tracking being a real boon in certain scenarios. Throw in IBIS and a deep grip that feels comfortable in the hand no matter which X-series lens you pair it with, and you have a recipe for a really enjoyable snapping companion. And number 1. Sony A7 IV. Following Sony Euro trademark's fantastic A7 III was never going to be easy, but the A7 IV is a worthy successor. Equipped with a new 33MP sensor Theta Euro trademark S solid for both stills and video, ETA Euro trademark S a compelling mirrorless option for hybrid shooters. In our review, we called it a brilliant blend of photographic power and video versatility. A price hike does mean ETA Euro trademark S no longer an entry-level full-frame camera like its forebear, but a Bion's XR processor powers solid performance that broadly justifies the extra expenditure. The A7 IV also benefits from Sony Euro trademark S class-leading autofocus skills, plus upgrades like 10-bit video support and a seemingly endless buffer depth with a CF Express card. Our tests found this buffer to be more generous than most shooters will need, with image quality leaning more towards resolution than low-light performance. Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.